This is Two Shy Guys a Mile High.
Just welcome guys and gals. Just want to give y'all something, man. Just thank you for listening this far, man. We figured we should take an episode to kind of recap and talk about, certain things that we've gone through the podcast and kind of, why this is important to us. We figured, you guys are listening. You kind of want to know, how did we change, putting this together? It's definitely been an experience for me. This is Al. I'm just I guess, kick it off, man. But I didn't understand the honor that comes with doing something like this. You know what I'm saying? It's when you're able to understand a certain topic or a certain part of life, you don't want to keep that to yourself. Most leaders that I've known that have been kind of great or have taught me certain things, they've been able to share freely the information and not kind of keep it to themselves. So, I always start off, guys, I appreciate y'all, man, just from being able to share y'all perspectives here, because it's a vulnerable thing, man. A lot of people don't want to do that, but to really change and to really wrap it up from that point, you got to go through that fire, man. You got to go through that internal struggle that is going to be just kind of refining at the end. And so, like, what it's done for me, just putting this together is allowed. It's therapeutic, man, for me, guys.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think we went from being some seers to being some doers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. From having the vision of y'all putting this on a whiteboard to actually recording to actually launching something and putting it out in the universe and really being authentic about it. And I think that
yes, sir.
That is my biggest takeaway about the whole process, is that how authentic it's been to just put ourselves out there in the situations we're going through, and how going back and listening through these episodes, I'm like, man, these were real life stuff that I was really going through, and I continue to struggle through the things. And it's funny how you look at the recording a couple weeks later, that was right on time.
Right.
It's like God would put a way to manifest the message that I needed to hear for myself, inside of myself, outside, so I can come back and grab it later. So from that's what I think we've been a big change.
Wow. Yeah, and also I just feel like, getting us together, like being from three different perspectives, but still coming together and being, because it's a time commitment to do something like this. Yeah. And I just appreciate y'all just, lending y'all time, because we all got three, things that we're doing, three different routes that we're taking in life. And it's just like being able to come together with like-minded people and just get these thoughts out. Being able, like you said, therapeutic, being able to get these, how we're feeling, and then type of stuff we go through, so it can influence or people can learn lessons or can teach like the youth, and they won't go through some of the things that we went through. Right, they experience their own thing, and they can take this in their notepad and go out and live their life, and then they can say, okay, man, I remember what Two Shy Guys was talking about, Mile High was talking about, and I can use this in my life at this point in time, and it just be a good segue to be. Yeah. It's very authentic, so it's something that anybody can go through at any moment. So using this as a stepping stone, as a crutch to get through in life.
For sure.
Anybody can get it. Ain't nobody exempt from life's hardships and circumstances. Rich, broke, black, white, alien, Martian, whatever it is.
Man,
real people go through real things every single day.
Man, it don't even matter, like you said, it doesn't matter where you come from. And like, we've all come together, like you say, from just different perspectives, different backgrounds. Like, we're Phil and I from Chicago. We're from Denver, just totally different. But we've come together just so seamlessly, man. Honestly, I think it's been organic, for me, just how we all met and stuff. And I've seen the growth, man, like between, Phil and myself, Phil and Will, how we all interact. I've seen us go from not really understanding what our true gifts were, you know what I'm saying? Just coming from where we came from, right? Like, I'm not even going to say it's just been over a couple of weeks. It's been over the years that we've known each other. I've seen us be more patient in certain spots that I'm like, whoa, like, Will back in the day might have did it differently, but I see him now, he's doing it a little more methodically, right? He's actually, he's grown in some areas, right? And that's where, myself, it takes a, you have to look at the man in the mirror too. Like, where have I grown? And I'm not going to just say that I can just be the judge of just myself, but I always look to you guys, man. Like, what differences have you seen, not only in yourselves, but in me, and Phil, we can both answer these questions for each other, but,
man, the biggest thing within myself is actually putting together like schedule and actually being on point and following through with actions,
executing.
Because a good thing, we talked about work-life balance before, was actually, sometimes when you're going into a full-time job where you got to go in, mask on, mask off, you got to be that person, you got to execute on a high level every day, sometimes after that is done, it never ends, but after that is done in your daily, you got to go back home, and sometimes you just want to relax, but actually taking those things and executing, I do that all day now.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's something, and it makes my life go a little bit easier seamlessly because I got a plan for each day. I'm understanding what actions I need to get done to actually move myself and progress in areas.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm using that time and I'm using this whole thing to keep me balanced in terms of like, okay, I got a schedule to meet. I got things I need to do. I got actions, and I got people depending on me to do what I need to do and follow through. So I seen a big deal in myself with that, but I also seen communication between us three, and that's key. And it actually might be a segue to something else next season. It's communication.
Man, I'm telling you, bro, that communication is so crucial. I think communication is so crucial because that helps with connecting to people. And if you can't connect with people and they don't understand where you're coming from, there's
no clarity.
There's no clarity, and then there's no even need to even feel like you even want to try to do something for somebody, because it's like, why should I take time out of my day to do what I'm doing? Yes, it's a very me mentality, but it takes my precious time to help do of something that somebody's asking me, whether it be a favor, whether it be big or small. It just takes time, and just being able to manage my time. I think myself personally, I'm doing a little bit better managing my time appropriately. There's a little story about the other day I went to go visit my godson at lunch, and then he was a nice young boy, man. So he's waiting for a friend, and then his friend, but he's like, yeah, they're gonna wait and go put their lunch in the bag. So we waited. I was like, how long are we gonna wait for? 5 minutes. So waiting. Little boy ran away, came back. Nobody was there around. He's like, he didn't come back and grab you? I was like, let's go see where he's at. So we walked around the corner. Then we see him outside running around. I was like, man, he should have came back and kind of waited for you to let you know, hey, I'm outside. But it's just those life lessons, like he waiting for somebody, kind of didn't use his time efficiently. Then I saw him at the end of the time recess, and he didn't want to like go to line up on time. It's like, well, you wanted to wait a long time. You got to manage your time appropriately. So how do you manage your time? And just executing, I think that just getting things done. Man. I have a big tendency to just keep big lists and not necessarily check them out, but I'm noticing those lists are starting to get things accomplished, but I'm also being reflective and say, okay, I need to do a better job of seeing the bigger picture of things. How do I prioritize my list? How do I delegate more? Because that buys me more time where I can use my powers and efforts to do something else. And being able to communicate my needs to not only to y'all, but to my wife as well. Be like, hey, baby, this is what I got going on. This is what I'm trying to get accomplished. This is how we need to try to structure and move so we can all make everybody's lives more efficient and easier.
I remember you saying that before, because you said you used to think you took on too many actions at one time, more than you think you can actually execute, efficiently and effectively. So I think you said that before earlier this season, and it's actually coming to see that full circle from you. It's been, what I'm saying,
for real. I mean, and that's tough though, man. Even to really dig deep and look at yourself outside of the situation, right? Because every situation is going to be different. But, having, episodes or having time to reflect or having time to, have that thought work, I think that's where you can really make those changes, man. And honestly, like I said, we've all changed in certain ways, man, and continue to evolve and change. And I think what we've seen through the culmination of all of this, man, is just a different level of execution on all of our parts, right? Like you said, that time commitment, saying, yo, I think you touched on the key word, dependability on somebody, right? Not in like, I need you to survive, but you're counting on me because you gave me your word, right?
All I have in this world, all I have in this world, all I have, all I have in this world. Balls, my word.
Man.
Come on now,
For real,
you know what I'm saying?
but
That's
I
that
think that's
Scarface.
But that is the
Shout out to Scarface.
That is the crux, man, of what's important in your life, right? You put a priority on it, but you also have integrity surrounding it. And that's where, you know what I'm saying, the boundaries come in. That's what I know differences for me that has happened over the last year and a half, man, setting those proper boundaries so I can be efficient and walk in my passions and my gifts and work on the weaknesses too. But this has been therapeutic, bro. Like for real, very therapeutic.
What differences, you know what I'm saying, since we being got to be positive black men and uplift each other, what differences do you see in each other from just going through this whole journey?
I see you looking at me. I was like,
I'm really just trying to think about the whole thing. That's a different. I think the biggest difference is just seeing our trajectory in life, manifesting what we actually want to do with our lives. I think there's a little bit more purpose about what we're doing right now. Making steps at the right reasons.
I could say that for you, shoot. Like straight. I'm looking at you, Will. Like straight up, man. Like no, like you have changed, man. Like and inspired me personally. Like if I've never had a chance to tell you this, I don't mind telling you in front of whoever's listening, right? Like, bro, I've seen you. You know, we've all gone through struggles in our life. We've all gone through ups and downs, and that's the whole part of life. But I've seen you, man, just stick with it. You know what I'm saying? And be gritty, bro, and just not give up and not kind of let it take the confidence down. You know what I'm saying? We all struggle with it, right? We all struggle with we want things to go a certain way, and it don't always go our way, and we kind of can always backtrack and get into our head a lot more. And I think you've taken a really cerebral approach and like kind of stepped out and said, there's some things that I can't control, but there are some things that I can control, and it's probably me and my actions. And like I said, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you this on this episode. And I love you, bro. I appreciate you, man. For real.
And also, you know what I'm saying, we work together on a daily basis, and just seeing like from when we started, like the time where we, you know what I'm saying, we was in the same group going through data, and us being black men in one area, and it was a group of us. And we were killing the game, bro. We was the Tuskegee Airmen
of the program.
We were kicking ass, man. And they had to separate us, and they kind of, you know what I'm saying, it hit us with a blow, you know what I'm saying, because it was like all black men on one team, and we're actually performing. So they you know what I'm saying,
another diaspora.
Split that up. They split that up real quick. So, you know what I'm saying, just seeing, like, I see you from afar now, but like the way you taking projects and the way your name is being said amongst the right people and in the right way, I just feel like you took in a turn, and you took it more serious. Like you actually took it, like, you're good at something. You're good at that analytical stuff within work and how to manipulate data and get it to say the right things to you and actually project what you're trying to. It tells a story by just using numbers and graphs. Like, I feel like that's taken, you know what I'm saying, you've used that as a platform to actually express like the things that you're capable of doing, and it shows your worth. And, you know what I'm saying, hopefully the company can see that, and it, you know what I'm saying, continues to progress you, because we can teach that to younger kids and just black people in general, and whoever's listening. We can teach it to people like that, and actually know that, you know what I'm saying, you got a source, you got a resource to actually reach out to us, because you can always reach out to us at any point in time. Two Shy Guys a Mile High at gmail.com. You can always reach out to us and let us know your thoughts, let us know what you're going through, and we can always, you know what I'm saying, bring it up as a topic or be able to express different situation that we went through and how you may be able to relate to that same situation. So I've seen that, and that's a real big difference I've seen in your approach and in your work ethic.
Yeah, I'm gonna be quiet, but God, man, I just thank God for all of it.
Man, for real.
Hey,
unload, man. I mean, like this is one of them reflective ones, man. Like, I mean, if I had to put y'all on the spot, I mean, any differences that you've seen in me, you know what I'm saying, and be as honest as you want, man.
Yeah, man. And another thing, bro, like, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I'm the young cat, just coming from, like, we had 3 different stages in life. I'm the younger cat to y'all, but, you know what I'm saying, but y'all don't treat me as like, oh, okay, you little bro, or, you know what I'm saying, you the young Phil, young P-Dub. It's like, you know what I'm saying, y'all respect me and, you know what I'm saying, know that I'm working, but the biggest thing with you is, like, you always kept me on the right path and just told me from your experiences, like, steps to take or things to avoid, and like your mentorship, like, and I might not say it all the time just because, expressing this is a way I can express it out to you so you can, understand, you can feel it. It's like I just appreciate the knowledge that you drop to me, and the biggest difference, like you always communicate. You ain't always on time, but you always communicate.
You gonna let me know you ain't on time.
Yeah, you gonna let me know you ain't on time, and it's teaching me because I am the worst with time. But it's actually got me more effective and being able to prioritize, because I feel like on a schedule you keep me accountable for the things that I say. So the biggest difference I've seen in you is helping me with my communication by being more communicative to me and expressing, like, how you feel. And you always 100, bro. I don't have to camouflage. I don't have to feel like I'm at work, doing a display or being that person. I can just be straight up 100% P Will all day.
And I think that coaching and mentoring is probably the biggest takeaway and the biggest difference to me. It's like you've been able to coach me and help me in different situations. It's funny because you used to call me the professor in poker, but now you're the professor, helping me in my life get better. So,
bro, like, hey man, no, bro, that's real, man.
Like,
you know how I am, man. I whenever I step to anything, man, I try to do the best I can with it, especially with people, man. Like, that's really my heart. And I've we've grown up, in these type of environments where there's not a lot of black, positive, motivating, people, or people that can see something in our black youth, and somebody, did that for me, man. And I think I just took that to another level when I had the opportunity. I knew that I can't do it by myself out here. I can't. It doesn't make sense for me to learn all this stuff, or for anybody to learn all this stuff and not pay it forward. You know what I'm saying? The best impact that I can personally bring on anybody, I think, is the direct connection with somebody's head and heart, man. You know what I'm saying? If you can understand that. And I don't care what you're doing. Like, you got it. You got the connection. It's genuine. There's no fluff, like you said, man. And I appreciate that, man. I always try to be straight up with folks, even if it's like at the expense of kind of like, it might come off as just being just like direct. But, I try to frame it in a manner that makes the sense that, okay, you understand where I'm coming from. I understand where you're coming from. We can have an honest dialogue, and then we can both learn from that. And that's just the type of position I take, man. And thank you for just expressing that to me. I know that's not, not your strong suit, and I appreciate that. I know that.
Yeah, that's one thing I think about Phil. You've been able to come into your own in terms of actually like voicing yourself and being confident with what you're actually saying and putting out there now. I think you are the more reserved person, the more quiet person, the more trying to figure out how to sneak in the right move, right? But you've been able to be a little bit more vocal and say things in advance to what you usually do in the past. So I think that's one positive change, I think, for you for sure, too.
Yeah. And I mean, on that note, too, some things that you think might need some work on. I always you got to get the positive, the negative. Like you said, like I might not be on time. Like, I could definitely do that. But it's weird because like when I do, and I definitely want to throw integrity out the window. But let's just say, because you guys are like, my relationship with you guys are definitely, man, just infinite. But if I got a business meeting, right? Okay, we doing our thing. We pretty much on time with it. Like, we might have some fluff here and there, but we know, okay, we want to do this at this time frame within this time schedule. But you go to work, okay.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna get it twisted. You're not late with any actions. Just any time we gonna get up, man. It's just extracurricular.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, the difference is when the pressure's on and you need me or somebody, you need each other, we there. And I think that's the I want to separate that from the time saying we just kind of bullshit. We just kind of whatever. I'm there 5 minutes. Okay, 5 hours later, I'm there 5 minutes, right? Versus work.
I feel that.
And business. But go ahead, man.
How do you think this podcast helped you through something that you might be going through?
I just think it just helped me just give me some different gems and just overall takeaways I've been having, and just to reflect on my life and what's actually been going on. I think one of the biggest things that I hear consistently is that you have to take ownership of your decisions and actions. So whatever you did is whatever you did, and you got to figure out how you can get to where you need to go. Don't let those deter you. You need to be aware of what is going on around you, being conscious about how you perceive yourself and how other perceives you, and just the overall environment in general, to figure out when you need to change, when you need to adapt, to overcome. You can't change unless you want to change. So if the need to change your behavior, change the action that you don't like is not there, it's never going to change. And flexibility is key. I think that's one of the feeds into one of my things that I'm going to try to work on, just being a little bit more flexible in situations, so not hard pressed to say, okay, we can't adapt to what needs to happen. But if it needs a desired change that needs to happen, figure out a way to make it work.
I think the biggest thing for me is just seeing that, you know what I'm saying, at first when we started this, even though I knew, you know what I'm saying, we're all in the same field going through the same things, but like y'all stories and y'all experiences have helped me in my personal life. So I know that I'm not just going through it. It's just part of the rigmarole.
Yeah, the process, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's part of the process, and it can elevate me at any point in time when I actually am focused and I execute at a high level. So I feel like that has been helping me on my journey, and I can see the progression within the stuff that I'm doing. And I'm actually, you know what I'm saying, taking it more serious because, you know what I'm saying, as you get older and as you learn and experience more in life, you know that you're working to a higher purpose, and it helps me with the opportunity to realize that, you know what I'm saying, I got people depending on me. You know what I'm saying? And it pushes me, and I grind a little bit harder knowing that people looking up, and the next generation is coming up, and you want them to be even better. So I'm going to try to be the best I can so they're even better will exceed expectations of myself. So,
and that's it, man. Like how has it helped me? It's really helped me define my why. Like, why am I here to do what I'm supposed to do? Like, why has God given me certain gifts? Why? That was on a little bit. Yeah. I was like, wait, why? But that question is so powerful if we really think about it, because it drives everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want to get super deep now. I mean, but since we talked about it, just why are you doing this? Like, why are we putting this podcast together? You guys know why. We're trying to understand, you know, what is going on in our lives, you know what I'm saying? And how can we take the things that we've learned and put it out there? So this podcast has helped me break through some of the fears that I've had, man. Like just putting myself out there and not being concerned about what others might think, just more concerned about what my own crew, you know what I'm saying, and my God is going to think about it. And so that has helped me a lot to just get out of my own way.
Walking by faith, man. It's like going up for that catch. You don't know if somebody going to hit you or not in football. You just being vulnerable.
Yeah.
Being out there, being susceptible to anything that comes in, and knowing that, okay, I can handle any criticism, constructively or bad criticism, and I know I'm in the right place within myself, and you know what I'm saying, in my faith with God.
Confidence in yourself, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. I think another byproduct of that is just being confident in yourself and being able to, you know, hopefully help folks that are listening to that stay confident in who they are.
Stay focused.
Stay for real. Got to stay focused on the task and understand what
gotta
your why is,
maintain, stay focused.
But then you also, this is, like you said, therapeutic, but this is also fun, man. It actually, you know what I'm saying, I look forward to this time. Like, I look forward to this, you know what I'm saying, on a weekly basis or however long, you know what I'm saying, we get up all the time. We always tag up with each other, and just being able to have that brotherhood away from home. But we all away from originally where we from, and we still out here doing our thing, making it happen. So, you know what I'm saying, it's fun, and it's, you know what I'm saying, it's always fun to give back and actually, you know what I'm saying, produce things for anybody that's listening to the community, to the listeners, to any fans that we got. And that's just part of, you know what I'm saying, this is why I do it, is to have fun and spread that message and to uplift and help. For sure. And they got to be there, man.
I look forward to it, but I look forward to the future, too, because I'm excited for where this is going to go.
Just starting, man. Just starting.
And we're going to be around for a while, Lord's willing. We're just going to keep, you know, having fun with it. And, you know what I'm saying, 2shotguysamileHigh@gmail.com. If there's any feedback, you know what I'm saying, send it there. Like I said, if there's topics that come up, we, you know, you never know. We might discuss them on the cast, you know. So, I love you guys, man. I appreciate you guys, man.
And this WB, come fly with me, but you can't fly unless you got the why. So I appreciate you for saying that too. You got to know the why.
Got to, man.
I feel that. 2 Shot Guys, I'm out high. This P. Will.
Al.
WB.
Stay blessed, man. We love
Stay
y'all.
blessed. We out.